Right friends, welcome back to Railway Budget for 2016-17, and its focus is mainly on reforms and passenger amenities by leveraging technology. Reforms probably in the direction of privatization or corporatization in the near future. And if you go back to the history, 10-member Ackworth Committee was constituted in 1920-21 during the British rule, and they gave recommendations to separate railway finances from general finances. Accordingly, this railway budget got separated in the year 1924, and independent India is also continuing the same practice. If you ask what is budget, budget is nothing but annual financial statement, and in this annual financial statement, what the ministers will do is they will give the actual figures for the previous financial year, then revised estimates for the current financial year, and budgeted estimates for the next financial year. The document submitted by Suresh Prabhu, the railway minister, consists of actual estimates for 2014-15 because all the figures are now available, and revised estimates for 2015-16 and budgeted estimates for 2016-17. So the financial year starts from April 1 and ends on March 31. Please don't forget. And here the budget can be aptly called a step in the direction of more passenger amenities by leveraging technology, and the second important point is more in the direction of structural reforms. And in due course of time, maybe 10 years, 20 years down the line, these structural reforms may head railways towards privatization, right? So here, if you look at the highlights, more emphasis on capacity augmentation, that is 19 kilometers per day of railway lines will be commissioned by 2018-19. At present, that means if you take 2015-16, the commissioning is 7 kilometers per day, and they will go up to 19 kilometers per day within the next 3-4 years. That means more emphasis on new lines, more emphasis on freight corridors. You may ask what is meant by freight corridor. All of you are well aware there are 2 freight corridors in progress. One is the Western Freight Corridor. Western Freight Corridor connects Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Mumbai to Dadri near Delhi, and Eastern Freight Corridor connects Ludhiana in Punjab to Dankuni in West Bengal, and these two are exclusively for freight traffic. No passenger transportation will be there. They are exclusively designed for freight traffic, and by 2019 these 2 freight corridors will be completed, and government also announced 3 more freight corridors, right? We are going to come to them later on, and emphasis on port connectivity projects and suburban connectivity projects. Then joint ventures for 2 locomotive factories already concluded, and railway minister says that more emphasis will be on Make in India. Government recently concluded joint ventures with Alstom of France as well as General Electric of United States of America. More on passenger amenities front by leveraging technology. Then gross revenues have fallen during 2015-16. Operating ratio at 90. You may ask what is operating ratio? Operating ratio is railways is spending rupees 90 to earn rupees 100. If the operating ratio is 90, the meaning is railways is spending 90 rupees to earn 100 rupees. That means only 10 rupees is left over for future expansions. So operating ratio is normally expected to be around 70 or 75, but unfortunately for Indian Railways, at the present juncture, the operating ratio is 90. That means to earn 100 rupees, railway is spending 90 rupees. Look into the next important highlights. New set of trains like Humsafar, Tejas, Uday, 7 missions for transforming Indian Railways, then reorganization of Railway Board on business lines, then emphasis on non-tariff revenue. At present, the non-tariff revenue is only 5%. If you look at the world railway systems, the non-tariff revenue is somewhere around 10%, 20%, 30%. You may ask, what is non-tariff revenue? The revenue other than by running trains. That is non-tariff revenue. Commercial exploitation of railway stations, commercial exploitation of railway lands. These are all examples of non-tariff revenues. Then public-private partnership model of future growth, and future funding will be through multilateral institutions like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and through masala bonds. Masala bonds are the rupee denominated bonds issued in countries other than India. So, in a nutshell, the budget looks like a corporate mission document, and the first step is to organize railways on business lines. That means the purpose of railways specifically to make it a profitable organization. And second important point is give more passenger amenities by leveraging technology. And if you look at the vision document for 2020, in the budget itself, the Railway Minister unveiled vision document for 2020. There are several important points in this vision document. One is reservation of berths on demand. There will not be any waiting list. You will get berth on demand by 2020. Second is timetabling of freight trains. Freight trains are taking a lot of time, and the average speed of freight trains in the country is around 20 to 25 kilometers per hour. So, freight trains will be run with the timetabling in future. Then high-end technology to improve safety record. Technology will be leveraged to improve safety. Then elimination of all unmanned level crossings by 2020, because unmanned level crossings are the source of accidents. And next one is increase in punctuality. Then increase average speed of mail or express trains to 80 kilometers per hour. At present, the average speed of mail or express trains is somewhere between 40 kilometers per hour to 50 kilometers per hour, and they will be increased to 80 kilometers per hour, and the speed of freight trains will go up to 50 kilometers per hour. And then semi-high speed trains running up to a maximum permissible speed of 200 kilometers per hour, running along golden quadrilateral. You may ask, what is the golden quadrilateral? The golden quadrilateral are the train routes between 4 metropolitan cities of Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Then zero direct discharge of human waste. Now human waste is directly falling onto the tracks, and because of which trackmen are facing serious problem. Not only that, it is resulting in corrosion of railway tracks, and in future zero direct discharge of human waste will be ensured by 2020 with the provision of bio toilets in future. Right? So, this is a vision document 2020, and if railways is able to ensure vision document by 2020, we can say it is a highly successful organization by then. If you look at the figures for the year 2015-16, last year when the Railway Minister presented the budget, he gave budgetary estimates and now revised estimates for this year, and there is a shortfall of around 15,000 crores in revenue. And please look into the figures. The budget estimates for 2015-16 were 1,83,578 crores of rupees, but now the revised estimate fell to 1,67,834 crores of rupees. So there is a shortfall of around rupees 15,000 crores. Right? So this is the biggest setback during the year for railways. And if you look at the financial performance indices, targeted revenue generation for 2016-17 is kept at around 1,84,000 crores of rupees, which is 10% higher than revised estimates of 2015-16. And expected capital expenditure will be 1,21,000 crores of rupees. And during the current financial year, that is 2015-16, the capital expenditure is expected to be around 1 lakh crores of rupees. You may have a doubt how the railway is going to mobilize these much of finances. Railways is mainly going for market borrowings, and not only that, Life Insurance Corporation of India came forward to give a loan on softer terms every year rupees 30,000 crores for capacity augmentation. LIC will give 1,50,000 crores of rupees during 5 years of time on softer interest rates. And capital expenditure during the past 5 years, if you take 2009 to 2014, was annually around 48,000 crores, and now for the current financial year it will be 1 lakh crores of rupees, and for next year it will go up to 1,21,000 crores of rupees. So more emphasis on capital expenditure so as to augment the railway lines. Then I have already told you operating ratio will be at 92. That means for getting rupees 100 revenue, railway will spend 92 rupees. Basically, railway has to face the burden of this 7th pay commission also. So, as such, the operating ratio will increase to 92, and the freight target is kept at 1157 million tons. And out of which more than 50% will be coal, and please don't forget 10 commodities constitute 88% of total railway freight, please don't forget. And if you look at the railway budget in detail, commissioning of 2,500 kilometers of broad gauge lines during this year, that is 2015-16, this is a 30% higher than last year, and commissioning of 2,800 kilometers of broad gauge lines next year, and at present the commissioning is 7 kilometers per day this year, and it will go up to 13 kilometers per day by 2017-18 and 19 kilometers per day by 2018-19. So that means the emphasis will be more on capacity augmentation or addition of new lines. And if you look at dedicated freight corridors, I have already told you expeditious execution of western and eastern dedicated freight corridors will be done. To complete them by 2019, we have already deliberated what is western freight corridor, what is eastern freight corridor. And in addition to these 2 corridors, 3 more corridors are proposed. One is north-south corridor connecting Delhi to Chennai, east-west freight corridor connecting Kharagpur to Mumbai, and east coast freight corridor connecting Kharagpur to Vijayawada. So these 3 freight corridors are proposed in addition to the existing 2 freight corridors. And please don't forget, the existing 2 freight corridors are expected to be completed by 2019. And if you look at other aspects of capacity augmentation, recently Union Cabinet cleared the proposal of joint ventures with the state governments for undertaking railway projects, then port connectivity projects, Tuna project, commissioning of linking with the Tuna port already completed. Tuna port is in Gujarat. Next one is Jaigarh, Dighi and Revas, as well as the Paradeep ports. All of you are well aware, Paradeep is in Odisha, and this Dighi, Jaigarh and Revas, these 3 are in Maharashtra. So the port connectivity is being given lot of emphasis. Then if you look at Tripura already came into the broad gauge network, and Manipur, Mizoram will come up shortly on broad gauge map, and all of you are well aware joint ventures for 2 loco factories in Bihar with Alstom as well as General Electric already signed, and this involve investment of rupees 40,000 crores, and this will give emphasis for Make in India in future. So this is about the capacity augmentation. And if you look at the passenger amenities completed during 2015-16, that is a dedicated IVRS system to seek direct feedback from passengers. Then with the refurbished coaches, Mahamana Express was introduced between Delhi and Varanasi. 17,000 bio toilets installed. Then the world's first bio-vacuum toilet train is running between Delhi and Dibrugarh. Then capacity of e-ticketing increased from 2,000 tickets per minute to 7,200 per minute. Go India Smart Card for cashless purchases, 24/7 helpline with 182 number. Then Wi-Fi at 100 stations in 2016. And please don't forget, Mumbai Central became the first station to have Wi-Fi facility, and please don't forget, this Wi-Fi facility is being given in partnership with Google. and 100 stations Wi-Fi will be given in 2016 and 400 more in the next 2 years. Then redevelopment of 400 stations through public-private partnership. Cabinet already cleared the proposal. Then cancellation of PRS tickets through 139 helpline. Then e-ticketing facility for foreign debit or credit card holders, basically to facilitate foreign tourists and NRIs. Vikalp scheme. Vikalp means you have booked a ticket by some train. In that train, if there is no availability of berth, then you will be provided alternate accommodation in some other train. That was introduced recently on experimental basis, and the minister said Vikalp will be introduced in some other trains also. Then additional 30,000 bio toilets in trains. Then Astha pilgrimage trains to connect tourist centers. Janani Seva for providing food for children. Children's food will be made available in railway stations. Then optional travel insurance for rail passengers. FM radio stations will be involved for providing train-borne entertainment. Then cleaning of coaches on demand. If you are not satisfied with some toilets in trains, you can send some SMS, then it will be cleaned at the next station or the nominated stations. Then Rail Mitra Sevas to assist disabled passengers. And if you look at passenger amenities as far as new trains are concerned, Humsafar, that will be fully third AC service. Then Tejas, that will run at 130 kmph with Wi-Fi and entertainment, so as to take care of the new age travelers. Uday trains, they will be double decker trains with more capacity. Then Antyodaya expresses, these are long distance fully unreserved superfast trains for unreserved classes. Then Deen Dayalu coaches, these are unreserved coaches in long distance trains. Then if you look at the miscellaneous events, National Academy of Indian Railways at Vadodara will be upgraded to university. Then porters will be known as Sahayaks. Then special purpose vehicle will be formed for construction of the country's first bullet train project between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Rail Bandhu, which is now being made available in air-conditioned classes, now will be published in all the regional languages. At present, 5% of the revenue is generated through non-tariff sources, and it will go up to 10% to 20% during the next 5 years. This non-tariff revenue is very important. You can get more revenue by commercial exploitation of railway stations, establish shopping malls near railway stations, establish luxury hotels near railway stations. Then railway land is there, you can commercially exploit railway land. So these are the sources of non-tariff revenues. Government plans to get 10% to 20% through non-tariff within 5 years. Then by 2017-18, all the tenders above rupees 300 crore will be awarded through EPC model. What is EPC model? Engineering, procurement and construction. That means they will design it, they will construct it, and they will operationalize it and then hand over to railways. Then Rakshak for trackmen to alert gangmen about incoming trains. Several gangmen or trackmen are losing their lives, and Rakshak will be the safety device which will inform about oncoming trains. Then the National Rail Plan 2030 will be unveiled. Reorganization of Railway Board on business lines will be done. Rail Development Authority, so as to ensure transparency and so as to frame the fair structure, will take shape soon. Then Railway Planning and Investment Organization will be set up. New Research and Development Organization Shrestha will be established. First Auto Hub will come up at Chennai, because several automobile companies are situated near Chennai. For startups, rupees 50 crore earmarked. So these are miscellaneous events, and if you want us to comment, there are some upsides, some downsides. And if you look at the positive aspects of the budget, more emphasis on capacity augmentation, that is, new lines will go up to 19 kilometers a day from now 7 kilometers a day. Then second important point is technology is in the forefront in improving the passenger amenities. customer is the king, that is the tenet which drove the budget. Then continued efforts in the direction of privatization of certain operations of Indian Railways. Then new ideas and innovative concepts for consolidating railway finances, reorganization on business lines with the financial performance as the focus. So these are the positive aspects, and if you look at the negative aspects, how the proposed capital investments of rupees 8.5 lakh crores in 5 years will be met with operating ratio of around 90. The operating ratio is at present 90 and it will go up to 92 in 2016-17, and with operating ratio of 90 and 92, how the proposed capital investment of 8.5 lakh crores. So every year on an average 1.7 lakh crores are required for capital upgradation, and it is not clear how the railways will mobilize these resources. Of course, LIC has announced 1.5 lakh crores during 5 years, and the mobilization of balance resources is not clear. Then second thing is no clear roadmap for increasing the non-tariff revenue, as it is much talked about for the past several years. For the past several years, people are talking about the commercial exploitation of railway land, but very little is done in this regard. And some people commented, it looks like a presentation by corporate consultant. And the big question is whether the railway bureaucrats will rise up to the occasion, because in government sector normally lethargy will be at very high level. Then as the growth in core sectors is not up to the mark, can railway realize its growth forecast for 2016-17? As we have already seen, during 2015-16, there is shortfall of around rupees 15,000 crores, and whether the economy will come out of blue, and in the year 2016-17, whether railway will realize its growth forecast, it is to be seen. Then can the impact of a 7th pay commission will put additional burden of around 30,000 crores on Indian Railways. So can the impact of this 7th pay commission not derail the finances of Indian Railways? That we have to see. And another important aspect is funding for depreciation of assets is not up to the mark. That means replacement of assets is very important. After the life period of assets is over, they have to be replaced, and replacement of track and other assets require huge capital resources, and the funding for depreciation of assets is not up to the mark. So these are the aspects. There are some high points, there are some low points, and overall it appears that gradually railways wants to go on business lines and reorganize the entire railway establishment on the functional lines of achieving greater profitability in future. Right friends, let us see how the railways will live up to the expectations of common man, and how railway will realize its dream of going in for structural changes in railway board and in the bureaucracy of railways. We have to wait and see. Right friends, with this let us conclude railway budget. Please do join for economic survey and union budgets. Right friends, thank you.